What's going on, everybody? GemMint here with yet another prototype statue review. This one's from PCS. It's their 1/3 scale Thanos from the Gamerverse, from the Contest of Champions line that they've been building on. Now, truth be told, when Ant posted this in his Facebook group, I had to keep it real. I wasn't feeling the design. I'm more of a traditional Thanos guy. I like the Ron Lim look. I like the old school stuff, and this new school Gamerverse Thanos wasn't really for me. But Ant hit me up and said, Gem, this piece will blow you away in person. Let me send you the prototype. Check it out. So here we go, guys. As always, there's no unboxing, but we're going to look at these pieces close up. We'll do an assembly. We'll do a review. And we'll take a look at this monstrous piece, man. Let's get into it. All right, guys. So let's start taking a look at some of these pieces. And we'll start with some of those smaller base elements, the rocks and the bones. So you can see a couple of pieces of rock. They look well painted, well sculpted. And you can see they'll just stick into the base. And then some of those rocks are attached to these bone pieces, so this will make up a little rib cage on the base here. I like the paint. I like that greenish, grayish kind of look to it. Nice detail around the joints. You can see the number where it will notch in. Some bigger pieces of bone, so these will just go in a row. Like I said, we'll show that during the assembly, but they look good. Huge foot for Thanos. This boot is so massive. I like the weathering across the bottom there. Nothing on the bottom, as you won't see it, but I like the detail of the boot itself, that nice gold shine that we'll see on more pieces of armor. Here goes the other boot here as well. Huge boot with these huge big keys, and you can see another big key on top here. Then we have the torso. You can see the texturing on the body. It looks amazing. The line is sculpted. Costume elements look great. The spinal type of look looks cool as well. And the armor for the shoulders, that same kind of glossy shine. It's got dings and battle damage on it as well, which I like, and it's really kind of looking good on camera. You're seeing a deeper kind of gold to a brighter yellowish gold with a similar piece that'll be for his waist. So I actually had it upside down. So that'll connect the torso to the legs. Some nice intricacy sculpted in for the design here. And I mentioned those legs, so here we go. Again, great texturing on some of the outfit, along with that kind of biomechanical look almost. A little different type of blue shininess next to the matte blue. That looks good. Just, again, showing off the texturing here. The different blues here on the cuff. And then we're looking at the arms. Again, same honeycomb texturing, same gold armor, huge hand. But yeah, it looks great. Look at the damage. It looks like he's been in a couple of battles. Like the details on the outside of the hand here. Cool design choices. And of course, he's got to have the gauntlet. Now, this will have a light up feature for the production pieces. However, the prototype doesn't. But to get a good look at it, it looks very MCU-ish. And the other side here. But, what you would expect out of a Gamerverse Contest of Champions Thanos. And let's go to the portrait. So, great portrait, man. I'm digging that deep purple paint, the light blue in the eyes, his angry face with that strong chin. The costume details are the same, the colors are the same, the texturing, so of course everything will match. But that's one portrait, and then we have to have the gritted teeth portrait. Teeth are done great, high quality, you can tell. They have a nice gloss to it. You can see the gums, even the gloss on the gums. But the purple paint looks great. It's got that deep purple on the lines that goes to the lighter shades on the flatter parts of his face. So here are both portraits. I think they both look great. Go ahead and take a look at the base. This thing is enormous. It is totally engulfing my 24-inch turntable and super heavy. So we're gonna just show it up close here. Now, all the lava that you see has a translucency to it, which we'll talk about more during the review because it doesn't really pick up on video or pictures as well as it does in person. Then you can see the center is like this big kind of molten crater where Thanos will be standing. Nice contrast with the orange and the gray. There you can see that kind of greenish looking spinal cord. That's where we're going to go ahead and key in those rib cage pieces. And you can see the skulls of those creatures wrapping around here to the front. And let's just take another look at it maybe from the side here so you can get a better idea of what this base looks like before we put Thanos here and those rib cage pieces, because once Thanos is on, it's going to completely tower this piece. So just a better look at the base. You can see how the lava is sculpted around the rocks that are in it, and the rocks that will include will just be protruding out a little bit more, raising a little bit upward more in the back here. And I'm not sure if you could really pick up on the translucency. I'll show you a picture in the light once we do the review here, but yeah, that's the base. Let's go ahead and get those little rock pieces keyed in. So you can see those small little holes. Here's that one little piece of rock. We'll go ahead and key that one in here. And by now you might be able to see the other hole where the smaller rock will go. So this is more towards the front of the piece. Moving around here towards the middle, there's rocks that will key in. You have this smaller one, which is actually on the spine. Then you have this piece of rock, which is actually going to be more in the middle. I'll go right here. And then a final rock. Luckily, I had instructions on where these go. I hope I did it right. All right, so let's get the spine pieces in here. So these were all numbered A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4 for both sides, so I knew where to key everything in, and I'm sure they'll have similar type of color coding or something for the production pieces, but it was easy to figure out. All right, so let's get Thanos in. So first what I did was put both feet in. I put the back foot and then the front foot, but then I ended up attaching one of the feet to the legs to kind of get them in a little better to sit flush. So we ended up getting Thanos's legs keyed in. There we go. Moving up to the torso, we're going to put that armor plate there first. Then we'll put the upper part of his torso on top of that. Looking good. Then we'll go ahead and attach the arms before we put on his chest piece. That's the right arm, and here's the left. And then boom, we're going to put that big piece of armor on top. And then it's going to be onto some portraits. So we'll start with that regular kind of angry looking portrait. Looks great. He looks imposing. He looks intimidating. But we're going to really get him angry and switch out to the gritted teeth look. So, man, that's the look for me. The teeth look great. Love the eyes. Love the angry expression on his face. The purple paint job looks perfect. Let's take a look at this guy in full. But before we do, I want to thank That Spider-Man Booth for sponsoring this video. Make sure you're following them over on Whatnot for daily live comic book auctions. You could win CGC key issues and get some great exclusive variants from their sister site, Street Level Hero. If you haven't, you can download Whatnot in the link in the description. It'll actually give you a $10 credit that you can use towards your first purchase. All right, guys, now I can see why PCS wanted to send me the prototype. It is so much more impressive in person, as you can imagine. I mean, look how huge this guy is. Let me try to get some measurements for you guys to see how tall he is. It's hard to get measurements. So he looks like he's going to be about 35 inches tall. Looking at the depth, it does go pretty deep, about 30 inches. And the width, remember I said this is a 24-inch turntable, right? The width, man, it's about 26 at some points, depending on where you're looking. So massive, 1/3 scale Thanos by PCS, part of the Contest of Champions Gamerverse line, which I always praise them. Super smart for utilizing that license because it allows them to do characters that we love in 1/3 scale. Already I have reviewed their 1/3 scale Spider-Man, their Venom Pool, the prototype for Venom, and then here's the prototype for Thanos. So I mentioned the base. All of the lava parts that you see here have translucency to it, so it doesn't look as impressive in video and on camera, but take a look at this picture. I can picture you putting this in a display with some LEDs behind it or whatever type of lights, and you can really make it glow and illuminate, as the base will not have a light up feature, which I kind of like. You can just do your own thing and set up some lights behind it, as you guys know I usually do. Moving up to Thanos, what can I say? He is a massive, beefy character. He is based on that Gamerverse design, and that's kind of the reason why I wasn't really digging it when it was first shown in the PCS Facebook group. I'm a comic book guy. I'm more of a traditional design type of guy. So when I see like this type of design, I'm like, that's Gamerverse, that's new school. Give me that old school Ron Lim 90s stuff. Give me that Jim Starlin Thanos. But every other Thanos statue is like that. So it's kind of unique in the sense that this is a different interpretation of Thanos with a huge amount of presence and great details. You guys saw up close the paints, the sculpt, the texturing. I think it all looks great. There's actually a finer line of texturing here on the thigh that I didn't even notice when I was showing you guys up close. So multiple texture maps on this piece. You have the base elements, you have this huge Thanos, and you have the portraits. So again, the portraits look amazing. I couldn't ask for a better paint job. The sculpt and design true to this iteration of the character, so can't be mad at that. I would have liked to see the Gauntlet light up. That is a nice feature, knowing that that's going to happen. And the price point, I hear it's going to be $1,500 plus shipping, but don't quote me if something changes. I don't want you guys to get mad at me. And you're getting a lot for that. You're getting this huge 1/3 scale Thanos, which I don't believe there is one on the market yet. Consider me impressed. I definitely feel the presence on this guy. Centerpiece to a collection for sure if you're a Thanos fan, if you're a fan of this type of design. Let me know what you think about the 1/3 scale Thanos in the comments down below. Are you more of a traditionalist and this is a deal breaker for you? Or are you down with a more modern look or a different type of look based on the video game but still licensed through Marvel? Appreciate you guys watching. I'll leave you with this big boy Thanos spinning on the turntable. Stay minty fresh, y'all. Peace.